Welcome back to another amazing episode of Trailer Trashing, the podcast where we watch and make fun of and review and critique movie trailers. I am your host, Joey Rinaldi, and joining me as they do every week is our chief editor producer, Charlie Weinschenk, and our local scary ghost-looking guy, Derek Blythe.
Hello.
And the reason why I said that is because we're all in costume right now. Derek is literally a ghost. Charlie, I think, is David Koresh.
David Koresh.
That's what they told me.
No,
I just put on the glasses, and Derek said I look like David Koresh, and so that is my costume.
Let's go with that. And that's probably how David Koresh started, too. I don't know his actual real name.
And I'm Jimmy Buffett, but in Derek's eyes, I'm actually Hunter S. Thompson. Yeah, or a traitor.
Or Hunter S. Thompson.
Yeah.
Or Weird Al Yankovic without the hair.
And the reason why we're all dressed up in costume, because you guessed it, this is the Halloween edition of Trailer Trashing. And for Halloween, to celebrate it, we're watching slasher movies.
Yeah.
Yes. Slasher movies are a favorite genre of mine. I think it started with Texas Chainsaw Massacre and Black Christmas, and then it went on to Halloween, three of the legendary slashers. But we're not watching any of those three trailers today. No, we're going a little bit different. Well, we're doing some classics, but we're also doing some sequels. When we get there, you'll figure it out. How do you guys feel about slasher movies?
I saw Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and that's probably like one of the only ones I've seen. It's not that I have anything against slashers.
I don't believe that.
That's just
everyone
wrong,
has
Charlie.
seen multiple. Everyone.
I don't know. I honestly, you might be right.
Have you never seen Scream?
Nightmare on Elm Street, Halloween.
Nope.
Well, actually, you probably wouldn't enjoy Scream because you need to watch a bunch of slashers to watch Scream, because Scream is like a parody of all the slashers.
Right.
It's so good. Scream is like my favorite slasher movie of all. It's like my favorite movie ever, honestly. Scream 1, that is.
Movies where one guy kills a bunch of teenagers.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he slashes them. Because, get it? Slashers. And he slashes. Did you count the Tarantino movie as a slasher, Derek?
No.
Proof?
No.
Well, what would you qualify?
There are some shoot 'em ups.
Shoot 'em ups.
Wait, no. Have you seen Life Proof?
Life Proof?
Oh no, Death Proof. Death Proof.
Death Proof. That would count that one.
Yeah, that's what I was asking.
He didn't
You were so
direct
close.
That was literally what I was.
Was that him?
That was Tarantino. Yeah, that was Tarantino. I think that's a slasher. I think it technically counts as a slasher too.
Car slasher, like Christine.
Yeah. You gotta watch that movie, Charlie. That movie will change your perspective on Tarantino. It changed my perspective on Tarantino.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with slashers. I just never really got into them because I feel like they are very cheesy, and I don't mind a cheesy movie, but just sometimes it's like what I look for in like a cheesy movie. It's like I like some of like the cheesy body horror movies where it's like it's cheesy, but like it's really got some weird things to look at. Whereas for me, slashers are kind of like, it's
like indulging in the cliches and just having a good time watching these people get killed in interesting ways.
Yeah. And it's also about shock horror too. Like there's a lot of like, what's gonna happen, and they turn around and boom, he's there, which I love.
I don't know. For me, it never did it in the idea, so I never really got there to actually watching it. Like I didn't dislike Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I liked the way it looked. It was very grainy. It was very cheesy. But I don't know. I don't understand how I haven't watched more.
It sounds like you wrote off slashes before you even gave them a chance. That's what it sounds like to me.
Yeah, but I do that all the time with lots of things.
You know what's funny? I don't want to call you out right now, but that's what you basically knew with stand-up comedy when I first met you. I met Charlie. I was like, hey, Charlie, I'm a comedian. He goes, oh, stand-up? That's not my thing. And then like 6 months into our friendship, you called me up and you were like, hey, man, I actually began watching stand-up, and it might actually be my thing. I don't know why I said that 6 months ago. Do you remember that?
What I actually said was, I guess I've been watching stand up this whole time, and I don't know why I said it's not my thing. I don't know. I write everything off for some reason. My first instinct is always to like hate everything, and there's nothing I could do about it.
See, I have the opposite problem. I have this problem where, like, if somebody introduces something to me, whether it's a band, a TV show, podcast, I get this like terrible impulse. I'm like, oh my god, I should know everything about this. I should dive into this. And then so many things I dive into, like after like a couple of weeks into it, I'm like, this is a waste of time, man. I should have been like Charlie and just wrote it off from the get-go.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and also for me, I need to arrive at things at my own time. Like someone may have like suggested something to me like 5 years ago, and I completely blew it. I like, oh yeah, whatever. Like, why are you suggesting this to me? And then it's like 5 years later now, and I'll watch it and be like, man, this is so good.
Charlie, I've done the same exact thing to you directly. And you re-showed it to me again, and I was like, oh yeah, this is really good. And you were so mad, and it was like,
was it the clown porn?
Mad, and like, yeah, and like that was
What was it?
The big
Clown
taste of
porn.
that was the taste of your own medicine right there.
Yeah, but fair enough.
So is it fair to say from this conversation that the three of us have a toxic friendship where we always write each other off too soon?
I think it's just individually we're just toxic.
When you guys show me stuff, I'm like, fuck y'all. What do y'all know?
Yeah. If I were gonna be into this, I would have found it already.
Yeah. I definitely I do know a lot of people, and I'm definitely one of the people that likes showing people stuff rather than being shown stuff.
Oh yeah.
Like big time. It's a huge flaw where I'm like always sending out links to people.
Well,
and then when I get them, I'm like, I guess I'll watch this.
They send them to me, and I don't watch it, and then I send them something, and I feel bad. It's like, ooh, I
like Charlie.
You'll see like a crazy cool video or something. I gotta send this to Charlie, and then I'll see like 3 or 4 links.
So but I guess what I want to say is, so maybe tonight we can totally change Charlie's perspective on slashers with some slasher movie trailers. And I would love to introduce our first trailer, if that's okay with you guys. It is the original Friday the 13th trailer. We've all seen it already, which is rare. We normally don't see the trailers that we put on the show, but this one, all three of us we've seen. And I want to preface it with, get ready, because I have feelings. Derek has feelings. We all have big feelings about this trailer. So throw it on, baby.
Hello? Who's that? Oh, hi. What are you doing out in this mess?
1, 2, 3.
We weren't doing anything. We were just messing up.
4. 5. 6.
'Must be my imagination.
7.
Can I help you? Hello?
8. 9. 10. 11. 12. Friday, the 13th. You may only see it once, but that will be enough. Friday the 13th.
Yeah, so one of the worst trailers of all time.
It may be the single worst trailer of all time. And in case you guys are listening to this and not watching what we just watched, let me just quickly explain the experience of watching the trailer. I'm a scared person. And then a number comes out of nowhere and goes, 1. Then you see another scared person, and then a number comes up and goes 2. And it does it 12 times. And you think it's building up to 13, and they don't even count to 13. They count to 12.
The 13th kill is the title.
But it's not a kill. It's basically like they're advertising that it's a movie about a guy who kills 12 people on Friday the 13th.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Charlie. You nailed it. Derek, give me your thoughts.
I loved the glass breaking at the beginning. I've definitely seen this trailer a lot, but now I'm at the end. I mean, now I'm seeing like I'm thinking like the end. It's supposed to like that's supposed to be an 80s version of a jump scare, an early 80s version where the title like breaks the screen in front of you at the trailer at the theater you're in.
Yeah,
right?
it's 3D and 2D.
But the reason I hate this trailer is for all of the deaths that it gives away.
Yeah, that's the whole
fun of watching these movies.
Yeah,
you know
but Derek,
you don't know how, and
you don't know who the 13th one is.
And it's so sad that this trailer sucks because as I was telling Charlie and Derek while watching the trailer, I love this movie. This is like one of my favorite horror movies of all time. And dude, this movie's good.
It's fun.
Don't like say it's wrong because I actually love this movie. It's like one of my favorite movies, man. You can't. I'm like the biggest Jason fan. I'm not
even the best Friday the 13th movie.
I wouldn't say it's one of the best Friday the 13th movies. I don't know what the best one is. Probably the third one.
Well,
I would say the third one
is finally the one where he doesn't even have the mask until the middle of the third one.
You're talking about Friday the 16th?
In the first one, like,
but I love the first one. The first one's great.
Spoilers, but it's good. But like,
it's fun.
Like the first one is like it ends up being his mom. Like he's dead. He died in the lake, and she's still alive, and she's murdering everyone. And then the third, he gets the mask from like the fat kid who everyone thinks is joking, and that
Stop it!
Yeah,
Stop being funny.
That becomes the bit that carries on. I personally think the fourth one is the best.
The third and fourth are definitely two of the best. I also love the one that came out in 2009. I think that's up there too because it's like a parody of all the old ones.
I don't remember that one.
Oh, dude,
I've seen none of them.
But I had a very busy, very drunk 2009.
2009. So I was like 13 years old in 2009, and I remember.
You were? Fuck.
No,
that means I was 11.
Yeah, so I was like 13 or 14, and I remember like my dad
was already 100.
Well, I just remember I was at that phase of my life where like I was like starting to reject my parents and not hang out with my parents a lot because like teenager, rebellious. And I genuinely went up to my dad and I was like, "Hey, Dad, if you're free tonight, me and my friend Eric would really love to go to the movies with you." And my dad was like really touched. He was like, "Yeah, whatever you guys want to do, I'll go to the movies with you." Like he was excited to hang out with us. And then we get there, I'm like, "Yeah, so it's rated R, so you have to vouch for us." And he goes, "Are you just using me to see a rated R movie?" I'm like, "Yeah, what do you think this is?"
Yeah.
Wow, that's cold, man.
Cold-blooded. But my dad at the end of the day was like, it was a bad movie.
I'll take it.
Why'd you drag me here? And I was like, because there's violence and boobs. And he goes, "Yeah, when I was 13, I liked violence and boobs too."
Violent boobs.
DNA and death.
TEA and death. Derek, I would love to watch that movie with you if you ever have free time to watch a horror movie.
You don't want to invite me?
Wait, which one? The 2009?
I'm the only one who hasn't seen it.
The 2009 Friday the 13th.
Oh, I probably should see the other one.
Charlie, you've got work to do. Like,
yeah,
then maybe you can come.
You're not on this level yet.
So you're using me to get into the movie.
Seen, like Jason be resurrected and then take Manhattan and all these things happen. He becomes a web developer.
He goes to the future too. This Jason in
he
space.
goes to space. He does all these things. when they run out of ideas.
So I think this movie trailer, I'm gonna be honest, it's a 2. I used to think it was a 1, but watching with Derek made me realize it's not a 1 because there actually is like a few redeeming. There's a few. There's
everything. What's a good what's a good like equivalent for another movie that would be like the amount that this gives away?
It would be like how everyone knows that the Titanic sinks in the end.
That's wrong.
That's nothing. I don't know what
you already know that. It would be like, I don't know. The cliche one is Sixth Sense. It would be like Bruce Willis doing a posthumous voiceover.
Oh, I see what I totally misunderstood what you were asking there.
So, Derek, what would you rate this movie? What would you rate this movie?
Trailer?
Yeah.
4.
Whoa, high.
It's high. I have a bad problem.
It's
how much
rewatchable?
it gives away, but I can't stop but think of myself as a person in whatever 79, 80 in the theater being like, oh shit, like who my crush, Sophia. This summer, I'm gonna ask her to the drive-in to this. This looks like I could see at the time this being a lit trailer.
Yeah, it was. I think that's right. I think the difference is like we're looking at it from now. So I don't know. We're rating the trailer, and you really can't give away that much in the trailer. Like that. This is the equivalent. This is what you were looking for. There are a lot. There are comedy movies that aren't that
give
good,
away all the jokes
that do the best jokes in the trailer, and you go see the movie and everything else sucks. So it's like, this is that equivalent, and I think that is. So what I'm saying is, if you combine all of the spoilers with the amount of counting, that's bad. That's like two things you don't do.
Bad, but I think from like
spoil every murder in the movie
perspective,
and then count to 13 with like all of the Mississippis. So this
So what is it, Charlie?
I'll go 2. I'll go 2.
It's an honest 2. It's an honest 2. And I got some fun facts for you boys and whippersnappers. Today on Facebook, when I asked people for the fun facts, I wrote, hey, all you ghouls and goblins, and I got 0 likes on Facebook. So don't say ghouls and goblins on Facebook, by the way. So,
it's almost like all of your relatives hate you.
Yeah, they do. So this movie, the camp that they filmed the movie at is called Camp Crystal Lake in the film, but in real life it's called Camp Nobibosco, and it's still Camp Nobibosco. I swear to God.
Say it one more time.
Well, like this, like there's like dashes in between it, so it's like Camp Nobibosco.
Yeah, but I went to a camp that had dashes in the name, and it was Camp Najwa, but it was like Najwa.
Okay, I'm an idiot, I guess. But it's still operational today, which who is sending their kids to the camp that they filmed Friday the 13th at?
Jewish people, probably.
Probably.
No,
so,
I mean, I'm not saying that as like a raunchy joke. I'm saying that like there are like
because Jews run Hollywood and it's a Hollywood movie.
I'm gonna save that tiny 5-second clip of you labeled as David Koresh, looking like David Koresh, saying Jewish people probably.
No, what I'm saying is that there are just so many like Jewish sleepaway camps, and like, so you ask the question: is who's sending their? I don't know, like Jewish. I mean, I went to Jewish camp.
At Camp Nobibosco?
No, Najwa. I just told you.
No, it was Nobibosco.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, how many people do you know that went to sleepaway camp? It's like per capita, a higher percentage of Jewish people go to sleepaway camp. Anyway, moving on. Sorry for derailing.
No, I love that derailed, whatever you need.
I've got more camp facts if you need one.
So Betsy Palmer, who played Jason's mom, aka the killer of the movie. This is a true story. True story.
It's the one thing that they didn't. It's the one thing they didn't put in the trailer.
Wait, listen. They didn't cast Jason. They didn't cast her till mid-movie. They filmed half the movie before casting her, and that's why the hands of like Jason of the mom of the killer changes throughout the whole movie because it's literally different people's hands. It's like the grip in one scene, it's the makeup person in one scene, it's an extra in another scene. The hand because they just didn't have her on set yet.
So you're saying they're like, we have this killer and we need to see their hands. We just can't find the right person, so we'll just kind of
Yeah. Yeah, and then mid filming they were like, we gotta cast her because her scenes are coming up, and they asked Betsy Palmer to do it, and when they asked her to do it, it was like an hour after her car broke down, and how much the money they were going to give her for this role is the exact money she needed to get a new car, and she claims that if her car didn't break down that day, she probably would have turned down this movie because like she wasn't into horror movies at that time.
Well, you know, also like anytime you see a close up of a character's hands, that is not like if Julia Roberts is like, let's add a dash of salt, and it's a close up of her grabbing the salt, that is not Julia Roberts' hands. She is in her trailer.
Well, I actually read in GQ. I read in GQ that Julia Roberts actually doesn't have hands.
In Gentleman's Quarterly, that's what they're talking about.
Is that what GQ
You heard it here, folks. Trailer
Yeah.
trashing exclusive. No hands, Julia Roberts. My hands are see-through too.
Baby.
I got one last fun fact before we do the tomato game. Lou Reed owns a mansion next to, or not a mansion, like he owns like a ranch next to this camp. And so he just would come on to set all the time and just play music for like the cast and crew while they were taking breaks. And what a fun movie! Because I've worked on movies before. I've been a PA. I've been an extra. I've done the movie thing. And nothing has ever happened doing equipment stuff on a film set before. Can you imagine Lou fucking Reed from the Velvet Underground coming out to just sing you "Pale Blue Eyes" while you're fucking eating lunch?
Yeah, and giving everyone heroin and all sorts of cool stuff.
It was the 80s. He was probably like just getting off heroin, I think.
Really? Is he still? He's dead, right?
No, he died. He lived a long time. I think he just died like a few years ago.
Heroin. If you ask anyone who lives past 100 what their secret is, they always say heroin.
So Derek's like really lost in his like ghost costume right now, and like he's looking at his hands. Are you okay, Derek?
What?
Don't George Bailey me right now.
What years? What?
Okay.
That sounded like that movie, the Christmas movie we were talking about that one time.
What?
That's who George Bailey is.
All I remember, 100
I'm
years
so
ago
bad
today,
with names, Joey.
George Bailey's the
October
main
29.
character.
getting kicked by a horse, falling out of a window while I was on fire, and then hitting the ground and drowning.
So, Derek,
Whichever of those killed me, I don't know. Authorities still don't know. Whoa, I'm a ghost. Whoa. Whoa.
Ghost Boy, I need you to take it down a notch and give me a Rotten Tomato score. Since you lost last week, I'm making you go first because
39.
39? Charlie, how do you count
19 years after my death.
75.
Yeah, Charlie, your gut, dude. I don't think Charlie's ever going to lose a tomato game ever again now that he has his gut thing going. It was a 65. Right. Dude,
well, that's wrong.
It's a classic movie,
you said it yourself, Derek. Imagine what these people were thinking when this first came out in whatever year this was.
I said that about the trailer, not the movie.
They loved the trailer. They hated the movie.
Okay, so I have a kind of weird Roger Ebert thing pulled up for this one. The Roger Ebert thing today is it's his review. I think of a modern. I think it's the 2009 Friday the 13th, but it's worth reading the first two paragraphs because he talks about the first movie kind of in the first two paragraphs.
So
and
we're ignoring the rating.
Yeah, because it's not. It's for the
movie.
It's for the 2009 movie. But
strange how the wood chipper payoff shot is missing.
But you got to read the first two paragraphs because it's interesting. I think.
Okay, Friday the 13th is about the best Friday the 13th movie you could hope for. Its technical credits are excellent. It has a lot of scary and gruesome killings. Not a whole lot of acting is required. If that's what you want to find out, you can stop reading. Okay, now it's just us in the room. You're not planning to see Friday the 13th, and you wonder why anyone else is. Since the original movie came out in 1980, there were 10 more films, sequels, retreads, fresh starts, variations, whatever. Now we get to the 2009 Friday the 13th, which is billed as a remake of the original. So
Come on. Is that not an amazing, hilarious, like writing technique he just did there? Now it's just us in the room.
That's why you had me read that. I feel used.
Wait, you guys didn't find that like it's just hysterical?
I liked
it was
it.
good. It was good. He liked Friday the 13th. I thought we were gonna get some sort of like insight, like that was special. That we couldn't find
Well,
it,
the
so.
insight is like he chose. It's 2009. He's basically a few years away from death, and he goes, "Let me get funny with these reviews."
Bastard.
I know. So
Everyone
sorry.
thinks they're a comedian when they're on the verge of death, huh? Am I right, fellow comedians?
I apologize if you guys like that as much as I did. That really tickled my fancy today when I was looking up fun facts for this episode.
Well, I will tickle nothing for you, sir.
Good sir. So that concludes Friday the 13th. If you fucking hate it as much as we did, reach out to us and let us know how much you hate it. If you have hate in your heart about this trailer, let us know. But let's move on to our second movie trailer, which, Derek, you chose, and I'm excited to hear your thoughts on it. Can you tell us what the trailer is?
This is for Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2.
Ooh!
Chainsaw
12 years
Massacre.
after the first.
All right,
you
let's
go.
roll that beautiful bean footage.
"13 years ago, audiences across America were horrified by the savagery of a faceless killer. In the wake of this bizarre rampage, he vanished. Now, after more than a decade of silence, he has come out of hiding. Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. The Buzz is back. Directed by Toby Hooper.
That was quick.
I
Was
loved
that
it.
like a minute?
That's all we needed.
They knew what they had. They were like, this movie was famous, so the second one, let's just let people know there's a second one and get out. And
It
I
really piqued
appreciate
my
that.
interest. Yeah, it got me because it was like, whoa, is he on the top of a moving car with a chainsaw murdering a woman? How does he do that?
We really don't get really quickie trailers. I wonder if that's the official trailer. It was the one that came up
Well, that's it coming out on Blu-ray nowadays.
Oh, it did.
It's not the theatrical trailer.
Oh, Joey.
You know what?
Joey, you're fired. Get out of here.
You know what? Sometimes not everyone's perfect. Like no one's perfect. That's what they say. No one's perfect. And
That's what they say, but it's not true.
Who says that?
I've been trying my best
says
to be
that?
perfect. And here I did. I wasn't perfect. I got the Blu-ray trailer. I'm sorry. Should we review it though? Should we treat it for what it was?
Yeah, I liked it.
I loved it.
Yeah, it's good. I like that
It
she
was
was.
good.
It's like what really got me. Like I said 5 seconds ago, is it just like the bulk of what I like. It was a very quick, and all I remember was he was on the top of a moving car murdering the lady with the chainsaw. That was enough.
And like when you hear Texas Chainsaw, you just want to see chainsaw, because I feel like so many movies, like they have a title and then you watch the trailer and you don't get enough of what the title's giving you, and this movie gave it to us rather, and I'm happy.
Did I see someone with like a blood dropper dropping into the chainsaw chain?
No.
What
That was oil.
was?
No, that was oil. You fools! You guys aren't handymen like me. You gotta oil it up.
I don't know shit about oil.
I am
but
not a layman.
I'm willing to learn more if it will make you respect me more as a man, Charlie.
No one would ever put blood into the chainsaw before they murder.
That's what I was thinking. I was
They're
like, why would he already?
He's gonna
He
get
likes
enough
murdering
blood
people.
on the chainsaw after he's
Wait
I
a
could
murdered.
see that
second.
in like the 13-year gap where he's just like it opens on him doing that in his living room. Like, I hate all this artificial Halloween store blood I have to put into my chainsaw. I should get back on the grind.
Wait, what if? Just hear me out. What if he made a chainsaw that was fueled on blood?
That's not what happened, though. That's
Fueled
just
by
not what
it?
happened. It was the thing is, it was 13 years in between these two movies, but it was saying in the movie it was only supposed to be like 3 years, right? That's what they said.
Yep.
And
I don't know.
he was they were basically saying that he's been waiting 3 years, oiling up the chainsaw. He's getting it ready, and he's gonna go out and he's gonna fucking murder everybody in a moving car.
I would love to see that scene. I wish I
Yeah, me
watched this
too.
all the way through. I only watched the parts where my uncle said he was in. Which is
Yes.
why
Tell us
I-
about your uncle.
Which is why
Segue alert!
I haven't even seen the first one. Like
I've seen it.
I've
I've
just
seen
seen
It's
that
okay.
movie.
I've
It's
just
okay.
seen parts of this one because my uncle, I don't know, somewhere in the late 70s or early 70s or something like that, befriended Willie Nelson. And
Oh,
so
the writer of Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
no, just because
The guy I'm dressed up as right now? Derek, is that who
Willie
I'm dressed up
Nelson
as?
had a say in a
No.
ton of things that were being shot in Texas, and my uncle Blackie, R.I.P., like told me all of his old stories about being in just an extra in all of these movies that took place that were filmed in Texas at the time. And he's very, very, very much a Texan man in all of these movies. He's just in the background in his like big Texan hat. And I tried to
10
find
gallons?
him. Yeah, and
But wait, what does that have to do with Willie Nelson?
I don't know if what Willie Nelson had to do with this movie, but that's why he started to do background stuff. He had nothing to do with I don't know his career or anything, but just a simple Texan man who
Sounds
befriended
like
Willie
Hank Hill.
Nelson.
Because there was an episode of King of the Hill where Hank
Yeah,
Hill became friends
so-
with Willie Nelson.
I'd be darned if my friends hung out with that Willie Nelson guy.
The
Sorry,
story
I
he
like
was
Hank
telling
Hill.
me about this movie was he was just asked to be on set and serve chili, and he got really excited, and he didn't even know what movie it was. And so you can see him in the background of the like chili cook-off scenes with the biggest smile on his face serving chili. And then he's like, oh, he was telling me like, oh, later on I learned I was serving human meat in that chili.
They put real human meat in the background of the movie. That
Oh, yeah.
is that's really going all the way.
So boys and girls, we haven't rated this yet. I'm giving this an 8.
Yeah, it's gonna rate
Good
high. I'm gonna rate it an 8 too, but we have to put it's an 8 with an asterisk. Asterisk.
Asterisk, yeah, because it was a Blu-ray trailer.
It was
I
the
fucked up. I don't know why everyone's so mad at me. I was one mistake. It was one. Please go easy on me.
You get one, Joey. You get one. Next time, I take a little piece of your skin and I keep it, and you every time it grows back, so basically every time you fuck up, you lose a piece of skin forever, and so that includes like moving forward.
I think in defense of Joey's skin, I have tried to watch in defense of Joey's skin, I've tried to watch this movie fully over the past few years, and it's hard to rent. It's weirdly hard to rent. I don't know
It's
why.
so expensive.
It's just not on the things.
Well, maybe I can help you understand why. This movie was like mad obscure for like because it came out 13 years after like the way we said, and
Was it the same?
and like there was a lot of pushback to make this movie.
Was
For
this
instance,
also written by Willie Nelson?
so
I don't know what he had to do with this, but
so basically, what got this movie
Blackie was in
even
it.
so what even got this movie like the ball rolling to make this movie is the actor who played Chop Top, who's like I guess like the killer. in the movie, I
Oh, from
think.
that song.
Shock top, drop top. Don't know chili cook off. Chili cook off in the hot pot.
Okay,
Is that-
sorry. Okay.
Wait, is that
Back
the Red,
to-
is that Red Hot Chili Peppers song? By the way,
No, sounds like
No,
it. No,
Joey.
yeah.
Hot
That's
Chop, Hot Chop. So,
I guess there's a lot of songs with this
so the
guy.
actor who played Chop
Chop Top.
Top,
Drop pot. Chili cook-off in the cockpot.
So the actor who played Chop Top, the original movie. I'm sorry. The actor who played Chop Top.
Chop Top. Dropbox. Chili
he
cook-off.
created-
Crock-pot.
He created a short film parody called The Texas Chainsaw Manicure, where you get the thing.
Oh,
That's pretty
worse
bad.
than the joke I just did.
No, this is a real movie.
Yeah, but we're saying it's bad.
And he sent the short film to the director and was like, hey, I made this short film because I want you to know that I love your work, that I even made a parody of it. And if you ever make a sequel, think of me and cast me. And that's what happened. He saw this short film and was like, fuck, you know what? It's about damn time I make a sequel. And then he made a sequel and he casted that guy to play Chop Top.
Wow.
Waiting in line to see the short. Well, you get it.
Do you think that's gonna happen
No,
with the
that's
bra?
Don't
This
bring
has
up
to
the
be up there in the
Charlie,
top. Like,
do not,
I'm
Charlie, do
stunned by
not fucking bring up that movie up to me. Not tonight, damn it.
That movie was so serious. For those of you who don't know about this, it's just some short film that we all just stumbled upon. It's really serious because I Googled it and it has like a really serious poster.
No,
Yes, it does. And the
Okay,
guy
wait.
was like posting about it on Facebook and everything.
okay, we gotta talk about this later because right
Okay,
now,
yeah,
let's do-
how pressing is it that we move on?
it's very pressing.
I can. Okay.
I don't want to talk. I don't want to get into that right now.
I'd love
We-
to point out Uncle Blackie in the chili cook-off scene, which is easy to find.
Oh wait, yeah. If it's not the bra, yeah.
He
we
was
need
talking about
that.
moving away from the bra. I brought up something that was too
Oh.
obscure.
Right
Too-
there,
Well, I thought
yeah.
you meant we had to move on to the next trailer, but if
No, we
our
haven't even
webmaster is
tomatoes or
able to
even.
find chili cook-off scene, I can. I don't know how well, but just the smile on his face, it's just so you can tell he has no idea what's happening.
Can you send me? Can we like whip that off the internet and put that on Instagram? You think? I would love to get that on the Instagram.
Yeah, I don't know, like I don't know how much my relatives would love that, but I don't. It's whatever.
You don't know how much your
Fun
relatives
story.
love.
It's a fun
It's
story.
in
for your
it's in a
family.
movie. It's in a
He
movie.
had a really
that-
colorful career
Millions
being in the background of everything that was filmed in Texas in the 80s.
My cousin
Okay.
was in the background of something, but I don't remember what.
So, guys, please give me your Rotten Tomato scores. And Charlie, you go first. Derek, can you please just win one round? You're on a terrible losing streak
13,
right
I
now.
say. 13. I say 13.
You say 13? And Derek, what would you say?
25.
Derek, yeah, Derek's right. Charlie, your gut fooled you. Finally, it was a 47.
You want to know why my gut didn't know?
Why?
I blame you, Joey.
Oh, cut the horse crap.
Oh, my gut had to
Oh.
go. My gut is perfect. All I had
No.
to go off of was the Blu-ray trailer, and it
No,
doesn't.
no,
it's not,
don't
it's
get-
not legit. This,
But
this,
you like the trailer. You fucking like the Blu-ray trailer. So what are you saying, you fake gut heartless bitch? Yeah, I
I'm
said that.
saying that this has an asterisk. This whole thing has
No,
an asterisk.
no, the only asterisk here is our fucking friendship. Yeah, I said it.
That's cold, man.
That's
You're
cold-hearted. Yeah, because you told me that you didn't really watch comedy when you actually did watch comedy, and now
Yeah.
I'm bringing it up to all these people and who are
For
listening
the second time.
for the second fucking time. So can we get the EBIT up right now? My best friend, guys. We
Ooh,
have
1 star.
the babyface motherfucking the Eagle, the EBIT Griffin the Third, Bobby Seger himself gave it 1 star.
Not good.
He did not like Texas Chainsaw 2. And
I guess that makes sense. I
and
mean,
can
I
we
thought
s-
it looked really bad.
can we scroll down to the bottom to see exactly why he didn't like it?
All right.
Can you
I'll
read
just
that, Charlie? That's crazy.
what? I'll read it's
You
like
can read
3
that.
small paragraphs. Calling on the anticipation of horror. Okay. It doesn't even pause to establish the characters. Dennis Hopper has the most thankless task, playing a man who spends the first half of the movie looking distracted and vague, and the second half screaming during chainsaw duels. One technical point: the chainsaws are not actually turned on during most of the big scenes. Well, how could they be? You can see they're not moving, even though you hear them on the soundtrack. Russ Meyer once filmed a chainsaw scene in 3 hours out in his garage that looked twice as bloody and convincing as anything in this movie. I asked him about his special effects, and he explained that he didn't bring in high-priced experts for his close-up. He just dressed up as a big watermelon in a cowboy shirt and used a real chainsaw. Whoa. So he's saying that if you pay more, it's going to look less good, and that what this other guy did was he just cut a watermelon with a chainsaw, and it gave the effect of blood and guts.
That's hilarious because the chainsaw wasn't on?
Yeah, because that would be dangerous.
Fuck that, dude. Yeah,
I mean, come on. It looks like such a shitty movie anyway. I like the trailer because, like, ironically, I mean.
But they actually use the chainsaw more in Chainsaw Massacre 2 than they use it in the first one. Because in the first one, there's actually not many scenes with the chainsaw, apparently.
Yeah, I remember that. And I feel like that makes sense, though, because think about it, like, we're talking slashers here. And the thing is, like you guys were saying, Jason didn't even have his mask. The more you do it, the more you're relying on the gimmicks that got people into it in the first place. You're playing into people liking it's like this is one genre where beating a dead horse is like what people come for.
Yeah, I know. That's why I keep on watching all the Jasons and Freddys they make. Dude, the Halloweens, by the way, this is a quick little slasher shout out. There's a Halloween movie that Busta Rhymes produced, and he's in it. And it's hilarious, and it's the only movie where Mike Myers he loses, and he loses because Busta Rhymes beats the shit out of Michael Myers.
That's wild.
Have you seen this movie, Derek?
No.
Oh, dude, it's the Busta Rhymes Halloween. It's so good. You got. And that movie, as you said, they were leading to the gimmicks harder than any gimmicky thing I've ever seen, and it really made me happy.
Yeah, but, that's what slashers are, and I mean, like, I'm not saying it's necessarily a bad thing or a good thing. It's just that's sort of what.
And I'm glad you brought that up because Scream is my all-time favorite movie series ever, and Scream 1, Scream 3, and Scream 4 are so incredible because Scream 1 is a parody of slashers. And then Scream 3 and Scream 4 took that parody to a next level. And Scream 4 is out of this world because it parodies Scream 1. But we're going to watch the trailer of Scream 2, which I fucking hate. Because Scream 2 actually kind of tried being it was actually just trying to be a movie. And I hated it. Because it wasn't really following the parody format that well. And
you came for some garbage, and you got something that was trying not to be garbage,
which made it even bigger garbage. If that makes sense.
That's funny. I like that. Okay, roll it.
Hello?
Hello, Sydney. Remember me?
What do you want?
It's time, girlfriend. Don't you know history repeats itself?
Last night, 2 college students were brutally murdered.
Police are everywhere.
The girl was stabbed 7 times.
Ouch! Hi, Gail Weathers, author of the Woodsboro murders.
She's an opportunist.
Be kind, she saved our lives.
Yeah, I know. I read all about it in the book.
I can't wait to see the movie.
Did you know the victim?
Did you feel threatened by the murder?
What am I supposed to do?
If there is some freaked out psycho, they're probably already in your life.
Okay, so you just want to sit here and wait to see who drops next?
The way I see it, someone's out to make a sequel. So it's our job to observe the rules of the sequel. Number 1, the body count is always bigger. Number 2, the death scenes are always much more elaborate.
How do we find the killer, Randy? That's what I want to know.
Well, let's look at the suspects.
I'm not interrupting anything, am I?
It's him. He can see us.
Do you want to die tonight?
Is that the best you can do? Why not set your goals higher, huh? You want to be one of the big boys? Manson? Bundy? OJ?
What's your favorite scary movie?
Showgirls. Absolutely frightening.
This movie actually is still trying to be a parody, and the problem with it is it tries actually being a comedy parody. The 1, 3, and 4 actually remain being a horror movie while also being a parody horror. As you saw in that trailer, there was like jokes every fucking 5 seconds. Why is
Really?
Were there?
There were no
Yeah.
jokes.
Would
If
you like
ask
to
me,
name
there was
any?
0 jokes. I didn't catch a single joke.
The OJ reference, well, I saw the movie, so I knew that they were trying to be funny. But like the OJ reference was trying to be funny. The TV shows references were trying to be funny. Like they're trying to make like silly, like hacky, relevant jokes of the time that don't really last with history that hard.
Yeah, that's shitty. That's shitty.
I just like
Because
really.
I didn't catch that. I literally was confused.
Yeah, those are jokes that were. Those were
during
jokes that
the
were very
OJ moment,
of the time.
I didn't get that was a joke. I was like, I think he just like made a bad reference. He was trying to name serial killers, and he said OJ. OJ killed like one person. That's not.
No. That character in the whole movie, they literally invented this character to be a main character just to say funny pop culture references.
That's bad. But the thing is, here's something for you.
This movie
makes
like 50 pop culture references, and it's weird.
Based on, I haven't seen. You've seen the movie. You got a bias.
I want to watch it tonight for some reason.
What I was gonna say is that I haven't seen this movie, but the trailer is actually like the trailer came off to me as like a regular horror movie trailer, and it seemed like fine. It wasn't even that. I would give this like a 5. It seemed like a regular, very average.
Yeah, I'll give 5's. Yeah, 5's fine. I'll give
this
it
is the best trailer that we've seen all night.
Yeah, I'll give it a 5. No, what? Texas Chainsaw 2 is incredible.
Had an asterisk.
Oh, come on. You
tainted it. You tainted it.
The only thing tainted is your David Davidian religion glasses.
My grandma gave these glasses to my sister, and then my sister gave these glasses to me.
You
don't talk about the glasses.
I didn't realize your grandma had sex with David Koresh.
She did not.
Who did? Whose grandma didn't?
Yeah, that's right.
It's David Koresh.
He was a sex symbol.
He had a compound to Anyway, this trailer. Yeah, I also definitely caught on to some pop culture references, but also I kept laughing because it gave really a serious, it felt like it was taking itself seriously.
Yeah,
I didn't catch on other than the references. Like it took itself super seriously, but kept using actors whose careers did not really make it out of the 90s.
That's the point I was trying to make.
What year is this movie?
I think 97.
Obviously, probably at this time.
98.
Monica from Friends is probably Courtney Cox Arquette, so she's
97.
David Arquette. And I've been going through all of a lot of 90s commercials, and David Arquette at this time is like the face of the 1-800 call ATT, and he's
Joan
just
of
like
Arquette?
being thrown into wrestling rings and thrown out of planes, and he's like, call 1-800 CALLATT, which is
I
David
don't
know. David Arquette kills it in this in these movies, by the way.
But he's someone who not late 90s, early 2000s. That was it for him, and so was it's escaping me who else was in this. With the other guy too, whatever his name was, like this is his era too.
I didn't
realize it made this trailer really fun to watch.
Yeah.
You know, I really think
it's so in its time. It's so encapsulating.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
year.
that really struck me as like something from the 90s. But
It's
I really
like
think
the person from the Call ATT commercials, and him and all his friends have the soul patches
patches,
and it's so good. And Courtney Cox Arquette at this time.
So guys,
Joan of Arquette.
You guys want to hear the bad news? Mel Gibson haunts this podcast yet again.
Fact.
So Yeah, so Scream 2, I guess made the box office record for most money made in one night on first night. And then Mel Gibson, a few years later, had to beat that Scream 2 record with guess what movie? What Woman Want.
Woman Want.
Yeah, they beat Scream 2 with most money in one night. And Mel Gibson, damn you for cursing this podcast. I don't know
on Halloween of all days.
On Halloween of all days. Can somebody, I'm going to go to like a fortune teller or like some psychic lady and hopefully
because I'm Jewish, Joey.
Hopefully she can get this Mel Gibson curse away from us. I blame the Davidians. I blame Charlie, Judaism. I blame me being atheist and saying goodbye to the Catholic Church many moons ago. I blame all of it.
Yeah, well, I was going to say, I know that we moved past this already. I just don't understand why a movie would want to like use a lot of pop culture references, because that's like the best way to like date a movie
for a long time.
It still like, is a thing. People do it all the time.
Now we have more. We like in these days where everything
it's only worse now.
Like
it's so much worse now.
Things just move really fast now, but just for
oh yeah. So what you're saying is it's okay to date yourself.
The time when I was growing up, it was like late 90s to whatever. Whenever I graduated high school, like it was like we went through all the scary movies, whatever, epic movie, all these things. And that was the humor, was like making references, like when I first started making comedy songs, it was like late, whatever that decade is now, the aughts. And all you had to do was be like, oh my God, somebody made a rap about Star Wars, and just put a thing and then rap at the end of it. It was like,
yeah, but I feel like that's
a rap about Cheers. Someone made a rap about Star Wars.
Yeah,
that passed for humor and culture at the time.
It still does. I think it's different. I think it's different. The point I'm making though is that it's in a movie. It's different because the thing is, it's like I guess
but it like
because it's
I'm saying it's like in all of culture, like it worked. You hear all the 90s.
And I think Scream 2 ended it.
I don't know. What I'm saying is that
at all.
I don't think it's ended either.
It had a full life.
I'm fucking with you.
These type of references.
So I got a crazy Wes Craven fact that's gonna. So Wes Craven, if you don't know, he wrote and directed all the Screams. He also directed Nightmare on Elm Street and a lot of other famous movies. And he was really, really pissed off because. Do you guys hear feedback coming out, or is that just me?
Yeah, it's fucking up, but. Anyway, on with it. Show business, baby.
So Scream 1, Wes Craven had to make 8 different versions of it to make the MPAA give it like a rating or rating, because they kept on giving like an X rating because it was too violent. So Wes Craven, as a joke for Scream 2, decided, I'm going to send them this really, really bloody, gory fake movie that I'm going to send them to piss them off. And then when they send that back, then I'll send them the actual movie. But here's the thing. The MPA liked it, and they fucking was like, yeah, that's fine. We'll make that. And so Wes Craven, the movie that Scream 2, isn't even the movie that he thought he was going to actually send off to them because he thought they were going to hate it. So the one in the box, the one that you can see, the Scream 2 that we all know, is actually more violent than the one he planned on making. And the script itself isn't even the script he wrote, because the internet, this was the peak, the beginning of like the internet hacking people. And they hacked Wes Craven's script, and the whole internet read Scream 2. And so you had to rewrite Scream 2 so the internet didn't know what the movie was going to be about. I hope that made sense.
That makes sense, but it's crazy. There's multiple things that blow my mind about that. One is that people would read an entire feature-length screenplay just because it got leaked on the internet. That blows my mind. Nobody
it was mainly the ending. It was mainly like the ending that was the big thing.
Yeah, but everyone knows you read a book and you go to the last page and you read the ending. You know what happens, but you have no context. It doesn't do anything. If you really want to know, you got to read the whole thing. You're spending like 3 days reading like 200 pages of script because it got leaked on the internet. You're insane.
No, but Scream 1 is such a big fan culture that a part of. I love Scream. That like it's these crazy screamos that would fucking read it. I think
Screamos. Screamos. Is that what you guys call yourselves?
I don't know.
But also to make a fake feature length movie for the sake of specifically freaking out the NPAA, it's like I don't know that. How do you have enough money to make a fake version of your movie and then also make the real one?
No. He didn't make a fake version. He just edited it together to make it more gory.
Yeah, I see.
He just edited
it was like a highlight reel.
Exactly.
I did get what you were saying, but now I get it.
Cool. So guess the tomato scores, you tomato guessing jerks.
My turn to go first?
Yeah, Charlie, go first to Rooney.
69.
69? Derek, how would you counter?
71.
Oh, baby! Charlie loses. Derek wins. Your gut's wrong. It was an 80. It was an 81.
Oh, you know what? I totally should have gone higher. I forgot that you said this made the most money in one day. This had a record.
Before Mel Gibson.
That would have been something to consider. I did not consider this.
Yeah, dude. Well, I guess people like Scream 2. I'm going to rewatch Scream 2 tonight.
It seems like, I don't know. Why do they like it so much?
Well, maybe I'm just an asshole. I know other people like Scream 2. I think it's the worst one by far.
I don't know. I think if you wanna like really tank your movie, fill it up with a bunch of pop culture references. It's like a really easy way to just destroy a movie.
So
you can just call 1-800-CALLATT.
Since Derek won as an award,
what did that spell?
As an award for Derek winning, I'll let Derek read the ultimate paragraph of Roger Ebert's review with any voice Derek chooses.
I'm fired.
Yes. Can we please get the Roger Ebert review up, please? Hello?
Patience, Joe.
3 stars.
3 stars.
Three stars? He liked it. I guess that's
almost a perfect score. That's 1 star away from a perfect score.
I'll read it in the voice of my 1920s ghost that I currently am. The Williamson screenplay uses the horror platform as a launching pad for a lot of zingers. I'd like to see his work in a more mainstream film. When the TV newswoman is asked about her nude photos on the internet, she replies, "It was just my head. It was Jennifer Aniston's body." And a killer says he wants to be caught because he's already mapped out his strategy. Quote, "The movies made me do it," unquote. He'll argue, and he plans to have Bob Dole testify for the defense. Parentheses, quote, "I'll get Dershowitz, Cochran, the Christian Coalition will pay for my defense," unquote.
They probably would.
Wes Craven was born to direct this material. One of the most successful of horror filmmakers, he made, quote, The Hills Have Eyes, unquote, and the, quote, Nightmare on Elm Street, unquote, movies, and was already headed in the same direction as the Williamson screenplay when he wrote and directed, quote, Wes Craven's New Nightmare, unquote, in 1994. This was a movie, parentheses, better than either, quote, Scream, unquote, picture, I think, parentheses, in which the cast and crew of a horror film found deadly parallels between the plot and their lives.
So I feel like sometimes reading the Roger Ebert last paragraph kind of fucks us.
It's sometimes more confusing.
Because we sometimes need because 9 times out of 10, his last paragraph is just him giving a summary of his thoughts on the movie. But 1 time out of 10, we just get a bunch of random shit that we're like, we have no context for anything he's talking about. Derek, did you understand any of that? Charlie, you?
Yeah, I got it. I think that what he was saying
tell me like I'm a 2-year-old if you can.
Okay.
Like a really dumb, stupid 2-year-old.
Okay, are you ready? No,
yeah.
I'm not going to do that.
Basically, 6-year-old. I'm 6. How about? Can you do 6?
Yeah, he was saying that what Wes Craven did that was good was he made clever
pop culture.
No. I don't think that he was really talking about the pop culture.
I was kidding.
Yeah, but it's related though, because what he was saying is that like what was clever was that he was like sort of attacking like, you know, like Wes Craven, he gave 2 examples of times where Wes Craven pointed out sort of like ironic realities that people like in the movie, like when the killer said he wanted to get caught because like, you know, the Christian people or whatever he said were going to pay for his defense. It was like he was making fun of like real reality. So I think
that's all of Scream, baby. Scream does it. Yeah, all of them do it.
He was saying that he did it. He liked that about this movie. So that's what he's saying, Joseph. And then he said some other shit that I didn't really listen to.
so boys, any last thoughts on these slasher movies? Did we learn anything? Did you guys get anything out of this? Charlie, are you now a fan of slasher movies? Derek, are you still a ghost?
I think, interestingly enough, the thing about like the Wes Craven stuff that sort of like piqued my interest, or just I found interesting, was that it's kind of like an example of sort of what goes on a lot now with like the internet and everything, which is it seems like it's referential, and then it sort of memes on itself, if you will. You know what I mean? Which is something that was not really that it's a genre that is normal in. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? Am I making any sense?
Wait, can I do an impression of Charlie just for the past 10 seconds? Well, so the movie thing that Scream, the thing that Scream was, it's movie that Wes Craven making sense. Did I? And Derek, you have any final thoughts?
My final thoughts are: I died 100 years ago this very night.
And I died in the 90s in a flaming ball of flames in Texas, in Waco.
Yep. And I'm Jimmy Buffett, and I'm still selling out shows to moms who like to get drunk on Tuesday nights. And that is it for the trailer trashing episode horror movie. Wait, what am I saying? That's it for the horror movie episode of Trailer Trashing. We did slashes, we wore costumes, and we'll be back next Halloween with other costumes. Yeah.
Keep going.
What did we learn? We learned that the mom in Friday the 13th did it because she needed a new car. We also learned that Texas Chainsaw 2 had Derek's uncle serving human chili. And we also learned that Wes Craven really likes to fuck around with pop culture references. And that concludes this episode. I was Joey Rinaldi. That was Charlie Weinschenk. That was Derek Blythe. Thanks so much for listening. If you enjoyed what you heard, give us a 5-star review on the podcast app. Follow us on Spotify. Follow us on Instagram. And thanks for listening. We'll be back next week. Bye.
Toodaloo.
God, that was so disorienting.